Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today for this quick presentation of Twinmotion. My name is Martin, I'm product manager of Twinmotion. Today I'm going to be doing first a quick introduction with my slide, presenting you, for those of you who don't know what is Twinmotion. In the second time I will present you the software with a new project that was never seen before. Then I will also present you Twinlinker, the new online platform where you can create and share virtual visits. And at the end, I will take time to answer all of your questions. So with no further ado, let's start. So first, hi everyone, what is Twinmotion? Sorry for the sound. So first, what is Twinmotion? Twinmotion is a 3D real-time visualization software dedicated to architecture. And when I'm saying real-time, it's really real-time. Here is a quick comparison between an image generated with a standard ray tracing software compared to an image generated with Twinmotion. The first one took about 1 hour to render, and actually the last one was not rendered with Twinmotion. It was just the quality I had inside the viewport while I was working on Twinmotion. Second example, the same idea. The first one was rendered in 1 hour and a half on the 2K resolution. The last one was rendered, again, it was not rendered. It was the quality I had while I was working on my 4K monitor. So it's a completely new way to approach the render. You are not anymore just pressing the render button and going to the coffee machine or going out for your lunch. Now, everything can be done in real time. You want to change the reflection, you want to change the material, it's just done in a blink of an eye. When we created Twinmotion at the start, our main goal wasn't to create just a render that creates render quickly. Our main goal was to create a simple software that anyone can just plug and play. We just wanted to step away from the tons of settings you have in all other rendering software, where sometimes you just tweak one value and the render time double or triple. The main idea of Twinmotion was to create a software with a really friendly user UI, with a lot of iconography that, as I said, in a blink of an eye, you know where you are, what you are doing. And with this in mind, with this simplicity in mind, we also have created what we call the add-in to simplify the architect workflow. The add-in is for both ArchiCAD and Revit, and it allows a direct link between the visualization software, the CAD software first, of course, and the visualization software. In other words, in just one click, you can synchronize your CAD software, so Revit and ArchiCAD, with Twinmotion and begin to visualize your project in real time right away. And at the end, you can also, when you are in Twinmotion, in just one other click, you can switch to VR. So it's a workflow completely new. You are not anymore... Before, when you don't have Twinmotion, to create a VR experience, you actually have to have dedicated people that know well real-time technology, real-time gaming technology. And in standard small and medium architecture firm, nobody has those type of skills. So the idea of Twinmotion was to simplify all this workflow and bring VR to anyone. So let's just now switch to Twinmotion. So this new project has been created in a CAD software, and it's just after the synchronization. During this synchronization, we do a few things. We first, of course, import the 3D of the project, the geometry, but we do also a few things completely automatically. For example, in the CAD software, you have a native library of assets, for example, vegetations or materials, characters. During this synchronization, we automatically replace all those assets by Twinmotion assets. For example, in the CAD software, the tree was just a simple billboard with the shape of a tree. And during the synchronization, we automatically replace all those billboards by Twinmotion trees, which are affected by the weather and the seasons. And we also imported the terrain. The terrain was a topographic survey. It was a point cloud file that we imported into Twinmotion, and now it reacts to the whole ecosystem. For example, here, if I select my terrain, down here I have the option regarding this specific object. For example, I can switch to the sculpt dock, and here I have some tools to sculpt my terrain. For example, the first tool will be the raise tool. that allow me just to raise the geometry of my terrain. As a modeler will do, you can just raise, dig, you can even flatten the surface. For example, maybe in the future you will have an extension of your project over here. So you can just use simple tool just to really quickly work on the surrounding of your project. And as you can see here, it changes also the texture automatically. So when a surface is on the vertical, it will automatically put this rock texture on it. So right now on the ground we just have this basic rock and dirt texture. I will come back in my breadcrumb and switch to the paint tool. The paint tool allows me to paint different material directly onto my terrain. For example, I can paint this second layer here, which is just a forest ground. Or I can also paint this grass. While all those trees has been automatically replaced during this synchronization, we can of course add more trees directly from Twinmotion library. So I just open the left panel and open the trees folder. To drag and drop a tree, it's really simple. I just simply hold it and drag and drop it into my scene. So I just drag a few trees around here. We can also mass plant vegetation in Twinmotion. I will switch to the Nature tab, Vegetation. I will select my grass, and now I can simply I want to change the diameter of my brush. Now I can simply paint some grass directly onto my terrain. And as you can see, this grass is affected by the wind. It's because in Twinmotion we have a complete ecosystem. Again, if I switch back in my breadcrumb and now open the weather dock, here we have two basic sliders. The first one is controlling the cloud coverage, as you may tell by the icon, and the second one controls the seasons. So right now we are in the summer. If I start to move this slider, we will approach fall. In fall, the leaves start to get reddish, leaves start to fall from trees, as you can see. And if I keep moving this slider, we'll slowly approach winter. And in winter, all the materials get overlaid by snow depending on the inclination of the surface. My river here just froze as well. Some trees just lost their leaves, as you can see also here. And now if I start to move the first slider, and clouds will slowly appear, and at some point, because it's in the winter, it will snow. So let's come back to our fall. So now I will again move this slider. The temperature will get warmer, and the snow will automatically switch to the rain. So we already talked about the synchronization with both ArchiCAD and Revit, but also Twinmotion is compatible with all the modeling software currently on the market. So we import FBX file, SKP native file format. Actually, with any 3D modeling software, we can find a file that we support at the import. We already talked about the terrain, the landscape tool. We already talked about all the vegetation. Maybe it's time to create some media. I will open the Media tab, click on the image, and to create a new image, I will simply just click on the big plus button. This will create a new image, a new point of view actually. Let me just maybe refresh my point of view. I will just come a bit closer to my river here. With still the project at the center of my image. I will refresh my point of view. And now I can right away come to the export section. Select the image 05 we just created together. Click on Start Export. I will send this to my desktop. By default, it exports the image on a 2K resolution. But with Twinmotion, we can go up to 8K. And if I just open this image, as you can see, it took me just a few seconds to create this image on a 2K resolution. Back to Twinmotion. Let's just now quit this media mode. And actually let me open what we call the BeamMotion mode. You can find this mode here, or you can press the F12 key. This mode puts you in full screen, and it also enables what we call the physics. So here I'm currently on the ground. I'm currently walking on the ground. Let me just get the sound of the footstep a bit lower. So this mode allows you to, as you can see, walk into the project at the height, as the future user of the project will be in their project. It's a way to immerse yourself into the project. And of course, if you add a VR headset, it will be just one click to switch to VR. So let's just open this tab and now switch to the drone view. The drone view allows me just to fly anywhere in the project. So let's just come inside. So all those material has been automatically replaced during this synchronization, as I tell you just at the beginning. But Twinmotion is primarily prototyping software. So let's just say, for example, you are next to your client and you want to see a different material on the ground. You just simply have to open Twinmotion library, switch to the material section. We can check, for example, the concrete, and just simply drag and drop your material into your scene. As simple as that. When we designed Twinmotion, our main goal was to create a simple software with a very friendly user UI. So this UI consists of three major panels. The first one on the left, it's the library. It's native of the software that when you have bought Twinmotion, you have all this library. Here you will find the material section created and dedicated to architecture. We have some vegetation, characters, 3D animated characters. We also have the user library that allow you, user, to create your own material, import your own object and save them directly inside Twinmotion library. The second major panel is the one at the bottom here, is what we call the dock. The dock is basically where you find all the options, the tools and the settings. For example, here my polished concrete is still selected, so I have all the options regarding these specific materials. For example, the first option is the color. I can use this option just to make my material a bit darker or a bit lighter. I can also change the reflection, for example. Finally, the third panel is the one on the right. It's called the scene graph, the scene manager. Here you will find all the hierarchy of your project. And of course, during the import, we also keep all the hierarchy you have set up in your modeling software. It's basically a layer system, same as Photoshop, that you can turn on and off to hide and unhide some objects. At the end, with Twinmotion, what we can export? We already check the image. We also can create a 360 panorama of your project. So here I've already set up 4 different panoramas that I will show you after that in Twinlinker. So here it's just the point that we'll take to create those 360 images. And all those panorama will allow me to create my virtual visits just after that. After the panorama, we also can create video. To create a video, it's as simple as the image. You click on the plus, this will create a new video with the first keyframe. And the first keyframe is actually the starting point of your video. After that, you just need to move into the viewport, click on the second plus to create a new image, a new keyframe, and Twinmotion will automatically create the animation between the first keyframe and the last one. So here, if I click on play, as you can see, the animation is there. For example, here I find this animation a bit too fast, so I will just change the time over here, switch back to my first image, click on play. Yep, sorry about that, it switched to the trailer. So as I tell you, I just changed the time over here. I select my first image, click on play, and Twinmotion change automatically the animation from 10 to 30 seconds. Finally, the last media we can export with Twinmotion is what we call the BeamMotion. The BeamMotion is a standalone .exe file. It allows you to share your project with anyone. It doesn't require Twinmotion. It will open the project with a dedicated UI. The UI actually we show you. I show you in full screen. So it's really a way to immerse yourself into the project. So at the end, when we have all those media, so for both the image, the panorama, and the video, we can export them into what we call Twinlinker. So let's just open Twinlinker. So Twinlinker is the new online platform that allows you to create and share virtual visits. It will look like this. On the left side here, you will have all the assets exported right now from Twinmotion, but in the near future, it will also be compatible with Atlantis. So here I find all my 360 image, all my panorama that I have exported from Twinmotion. The starting point for my virtual visit will be this night scene panorama over here. So here I can just pre-visualize my panorama. To create a new virtual visit, it's quite simple. You just click on the new virtual visit button. This will load the panorama. It's on 8K resolution, so maybe it could take some time. Especially when you are using the Wi-Fi. So sorry about that. It looks like it won't charge the panorama. But let me just explain you how it should work. The basic idea will be to click on the plus button to create a new panorama, a new point of view for your visit. And then in your panorama, in your hotspot actually, you will just link a new panorama. So for example, here you should be in the starting point of your virtual visit. It's this scene here. When I click on the plus, I will just link the next panorama, which is the stairs panorama. You can after that go to this panorama, and the idea will be as simple as that, just to chain panorama between each other. And at the end, it will simply give you a link that you can share with whoever you want. This link is, you can watch this link on a laptop, on a workstation, but also on a smartphone or a tablet. And it looks like this. It's in full screen. You have some hotspots that you can click to switch from one panorama to another. So here, of course, I'm on a workstation, so I'm using my mouse to just turn around in my 360 image. But if I was in a smartphone or a tablet, I can also use the gyroscope of the device just to navigate around. It's also compatible with the Gear VR and Google Cardboard. And you can, like this, visualize images, 360 images, panorama, but we can also call what we call carousel to create, to visualize images like this. But we can also visualize video directly inside Twinlinker. So maybe it's a bit laggy over here, but you get the idea. So I think that's it for this quick introduction of Twinmotion and Twinlinker. So now I will take time to answer all of your questions. So I just put on the back the trailer of the last update that we present just a few months ago, just before the Christmas holiday. And now I'll start to look at the chat panel and answer all of your questions. So yes, I saw already a few questions, especially regarding the specification. So Twinmotion use mostly the GPU. So you will have to have a good GPU. So here I'm using a NVIDIA Quadro P5000. So it's quite a good graphic card. But on the Twinmotion use mostly the graphic card, and you can find the gaming graphic card that is quite cheap, that work really well with an application like Twinmotion. So, as I said, guys, if now you have some question, please feel free to ask them. I will stick here for as long as you have some questions. So how much does the software cost? It's let me just remind. It's 1,600 euros for the pro version, and the team version is above 2,000. And the differences between the two versions is that with the team version, the user library is shared around the network, and also we use a floating license, so you can have Twinmotion installed on as many computers as you want, and just the number of seats you have bought can connect to can launch Twinmotion at the same time. Can Twinmotion scale materials asymmetrically? Right now, no, it's not possible. We are working on it for a future update, but right now it's not possible. The scale is homothetic. When will you support the 3D mouse like Space Navigator? So right now it's not planned for tomorrow. Sorry for that. It's on a wish list, but we have a lot of feature that is higher in the hierarchy of things to do. So we'll have that in the future. I can assure you, but it's not planned for the next update. Sorry. Can a set height of point of view camera position from the ground? You are free to navigate around the space. I think you are talking when you are with the physics enabled. So when the physics enabled, the height of the camera is 1 meter and 80 centimeters. So or 70. I'm not quite sure, but it's approximately the height of a human being. But in VR, you will be also able in the future version to change this height. But right now, you can change the height by just simply moving the camera wherever you want. In the drone view, the camera is free. Are you planning to use the static lighting of Unreal Engine in Twinmotion? There is a lot of questions that come up. So let me just slow down the chat panel. So right now it's not possible to use the static lighting of Unreal Engine, primarily because it uses a lot of performances, and you will have to have a beast of a machine to create to bake all the lighting. And nobody in any architecture firm has those type of machines. And the problem actually is working with CAD file, where you sometimes have a polygon that is 200 meters long, and sometimes you have just a screw that is 2 centimeters long. It's not possible to create some light map on this kind of object. So it's a limitation of Twinmotion, but also of the Unreal. It's not possible. But what we will do in the future is allow the possibility to open Twinmotion 5 in Unreal Engine. So if you want to keep working on your project and, for example, like here, bake your light, it will be possible in the future by just using Twinmotion to quickly prototype things and then opening your Twinmotion file in Unreal to keep working on it. Can a team work on the same Twinmotion project through network? So not at the same time. So yeah, not at the same time. But of course, you can work, you can have your project host on a network and use it, but not at the same time, of course. Let me just scroll to the chat panel, see what I have missed. Is it possible to change the color gradient in BeamMotion? So yes, on your starting point, you can set up a color gradient, and you should be able to use it to just navigate inside the BeamMotion with this new color gradient. But it's only when you will export this BeamMotion. Yes, I saw a question regarding the grass and some holes. So yes, we are well aware of this issue, and we have resolved this problem in the next update. So I don't have any date to communicate with you with when we will launch this new update, but the grass problem will be solved in the next update. So I saw a question regarding the SLE. So right now, Twinmotion doesn't support SLE. So if you have three 1080 graphic card, which is awesome, the problem you will only benefit the one GPU. So right now we don't support the SLE. Sorry for that. Are there any reseller in India for this? I'm not quite sure. I suggest you can go to the Twinmotion website, and there is a reseller section where you can find all the reseller from the Advent network. So maybe it is, I'm not sure. Sorry. Curtain material, please. So yes, we are working on it for the next version. It will be present on the next release. How about your workstation? So as I told just before, Twinmotion use mostly the GPU, and here I'm running an NVIDIA Quadro P5000. So it's not the last one, but it's pretty good graphic card. And on the RAM, the VRAM, it's 8 giga, so it's not the best one. It's quite good. On the RAM, I'm at also 8 giga. And the CPU it's not of a big deal with Twinmotion. 2-point perspective, it's planned. Don't want to tease too much, but we'll have something for this in the next version. It's not right now in this version, but we are working on it. Can I stop the environment animation as in previous version? No, it's not possible. So yeah, it's not possible to stop all the animation inside Twinmotion. It's a limitation of the Unreal Engine. Is there any experience with external graphic cards for Mac? So we didn't try ourselves, but we have some users that already try, and it worked quite well, especially with the latest iMac. But personally, I didn't try it, and nobody at the office does, so I can't give you much information of that. What about exporting roof from ArchiCAD? There is an issue with texture. Right now, I saw your question about exporting the roof from ArchiCAD. Okay, so my colleague just informed you that it's corrected with the latest version. So the future version actually, not this one. So it will be fixed in the next version. And again, right now we don't have any date to communicate. We are working on it. We are on the last push to finalize this version, but we don't have any date right now to say to you. When using the OpenStreetMap option context, I see no difference between ground and water. How can I fix this? So yeah, right now it's a limitation of the feature. We know that we want to improve this whole context feature. Right now it's kind of basic, we know that. We just wanted to give some kind of white model around your project. In the future there will be more. Right now we don't retrieve all the data from OpenStreetMap, and the water is one of a problem. But yeah, right now there is no solution for that. But in the future we have some great plans for the context. So yes, in the future there will be more. 2-point perspective. Yeah, we are working on it. Can't say much, but we are currently working on it. Right now it's not possible, but yeah. I saw a lot of questions for that, sorry. So yeah, we know that is a highly requested feature. We are well aware of that. I can't tease too much, but we are working on it. It's just the only thing I can say. Yes, there is a student free trial, a free student version. So by the way, if you want to try it, just go to twinmotion.com, create an Advent ID. It's you have a 30 days free trial version to try out Twinmotion. On the website, you will also find the link to download the add-in for both ArchiCAD and Revit. And also, if you are a student, there is a student program. Just on the Twinmotion website, you can register to have a free version for students. Can this quality of the picture of a view be as good as a render? So Twinmotion is a real-time application. Will never be looking at just the image. Will not stand next to V-Ray or stuff like that. Our idea with Twinmotion is really to push forward the VR experience, the real-time, all the animation aspects. So it's really two different things. You can also create grid images, as you can tell, but the main idea of Twinmotion will definitely be the animation and the VR. Right now, it's not possible to specify different shortcuts. Yeah, right now it's not possible. Sorry. What we can do with the VR controllers? Right now, you can visualize with the headset, and with the controller, you can just use the trigger to teleport yourself. And yes, that's it for what you can do right now in this version. But with the next version, there will be more. There will be more options regarding VR. We are working hard on VR for the next update, so stay tuned for that. Turn shadow on and off for object to be expected. No, it's not planned. By the way, why will you ask this function to turn on and off the shadow? The model appears to float when being imported from ArchiCAD 21. So this might be that in ArchiCAD your project is not at the height of the ground in Twinmotion. So the ground in Twinmotion is just below 0 on the Z-axis, on the Z-axis. So yeah, you can just simply select the starting ground in Twinmotion and just move it a bit higher if you want to your project to sit on the starting ground. Is possible a teamwork on the same Twinmotion work on the same project? So now it's not possible that multiple users use Twinmotion at the same time. Yeah, when creating, there is some issue with the user library. We are well aware of that. We are working we're working hard on the user library to fix all the issue we have. So we are well aware of all the issue regarding user library. Sorry for that. It will be fixed with the next version. We have make a lot of rework for this user library. So in the next update, all this problem will be fixed. Can you add more items like flower pictures and other objects? So yes, we are still working on the library. With the next version, we have added quite new things and expanded all the existing, not all, but we have expanded quite a few folders with some new materials. So yeah, in the future we'll have more glass and flowers. It will not be in the next update. In the next update we are working on a few different things. But yes, the library won't stay as it is now. We'll keep expanding all the library, adding more things to you guys. Okay, I see about when I create decals myself, the object trace shadow, I understand. The problem is actually that you should be able to create decals not by using a plan, using just the decal system we have in intern. We have planned to enhance the decal function that we have inside Twinmotion to allow the user to create their own decal, and the decal doesn't create shadow. So we'll have this. It will not be in the next update because all the features is already finished. Now we are in the polished phase, but we'll be in the future able to customize decal and create your own. Oh, there is a lot of questions. Let me just stop the chat so I don't miss them. In image export, you mentioned we can export with 8K resolution boost, but is there any advanced setting to increase the sampling and also getting the bokeh effect? So no, there is not such effect right now. You can only raise the resolution, but you cannot change that. I have a tunnel under sea level, the sea option. So right now, having a tunnel just below the sea, it's kind of a problem. I understand your issue. Right now, the only way I can see to fix this is to use a plane, either from your modeling software or from the primitive library, and drag and drop on it a water material. You will have your sea, but you won't have under the sea the water effect. So if you have your tunnel under the sea, you won't have the water effect. But it will be everywhere under the water. You won't have this effect, just not in your tunnel. So you can fix this problem like this. Level of detail, quality of object depend of distance from camera. This is annoying to not have control and see low quality trees especially. So let me just right, yeah, I know the problem. It's actually not the distance from the camera, is the size in terms of pixel at the screens, and it's the way the Unreal Engine works. And right now there is no way for us to overcome this problem. I understand the issue. We already a lot of users reporting some problem with it. We know that we have to find something with that. We will work on this in the future, but yeah, we are aware of this problem. I can see parallel projection like elevation or just in perspective. So right now the isometric view, like top front, it's not possible in Twinmotion. It will be in the future, but yeah, right now it's not possible. Add railway train library, please. Yeah, it's on our wish list. We have planned to add more path system in the future, even roads and stuff like that. It's not planned for the next update, but yes, we'll have this in the future. But for example, using the custom path, you can create and animate your own train. So like this, it's possible for you to create and animate your own train or tram or metro. So it's possible for you like this, but in the future we know that we will have a train and stuff like that inside the library directly. Will there be extra library to buy from Advent like the library for Atlantis? Right now it's not planned. What we have in mind is just to enhance the basic library, and with each version we keep adding more things to the library in terms of materials, objects, everything. So right now our idea is just to expand the native library. We don't want to release extra pack that you have to buy. So yes, we'll add more to the library. Sorry for the horn. So yes, right now we want to add more to the library. It will be great if the art test library could be used. Yes, as I said, the parallel view will be in the next update, in the future update. We are working on it. Right now it's not possible, we know that, but it will be it will be possible in the future. Please add road tools. Yeah, we know that. It's personally, I really want to have the road tool. We already. It's on our feature list. It's not at the top, so it won't be on the next release. But we have quite a few ideas for a road tool and generic road and rail system. So we'll have that in the future. Right now, it's not possible, but it's on our wish list. So is this compatible with other version of ArchiCAD, in particular ArchiCAD V19? So yes, it's possible. So just go to the Twinmotion website and you will have the add-in to synchronize with the previous version. Are there third-party library in the making, furniture package or light? No, right now there is not. Right now there is not. Or maybe I'm not aware, but trust me, right now there is no one that have this kind of library. I think no, there is still a few ones. Good to have a scale option during painting landscape. Sometimes predefined. Example. Yes, I understand you're making a good point for the landscape scale tool. Indeed, right now, when you are painting vegetation on the landscape, it's random. We take the height, the default height of the trees, and we randomly add a minus 30 or plus 30% in terms of size, just to have some randomness. But yes, having a scale slider could be something interesting. We can think of something like this. I will just note that and just keep this in mind with the future announcement of the painting tool. So again, right now we don't have any date for the launch of the next update. Can assure you that we are working hard on it. Right now we are in the polished phase, so we are fixing all the bugs, the issues. So right, yeah. Right now we don't have any dates, but yes, sorry for that. No more information right now. But if you just if you subscribe to the Facebook channel, as soon as we have some information, we will share them with the community directly on Facebook or here in YouTube. Please add save selected option in menu. What do you mean by save selected? And in which menu? In the send graph? In the where? What do you mean? When you say synchronize, do we need a strong internet? No, it doesn't require internet at all. It's in local, so you just have to have installed your Revit and ArchiCAD in your same machine you have installed Twinmotion. You open your ArchiCAD or your Revit, and in just one click, you can synchronize on local your project with Twinmotion. And right away, it will send your project with Twinmotion, and then in Twinmotion, you can navigate inside your project. So it doesn't go through the web, it's on local. I think we are reaching the end of the Q&A. I will still wait for a few minutes. About the drag and drop materials. Yeah, it's a personal feeling. We have worked hard on this new UI, and this is something. This is how it is now. So yeah, sorry if you don't like the way it is, but yeah, we can't do much about that. So yeah, I'm still here for a few minutes, guys. So if you still have questions, and as I said, if you want to hear more about Twinmotion, you can join us on Facebook on the official Twinmotion page. But we also have a Twinmotion user group where a lot of users share some great content. We also share some sneak peek content of the next version. So yes, you just go to the Facebook Twinmotion user group. We have some great things to come, and actually just maybe today we'll post a new thing teasing the next version of Twinmotion. So just stay tuned for this post during the day. Please make 25 frames per second. The problem is actually that the human eye is running at around 25 frames per second, so it's not. You begin to see that the image is not fluid. So this is why the standard minimum is 30 FPS. It's because you will see that it's choppy, it's lagging if we are going below 30 FPS. From Vectorworks, I'm not sure the best format. I think Vectorworks is able to export FBX. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that we are compatible with Vectorworks. It's not through an add-in, it's with the basic export-import workflow. I think it's FBX, not sure. But if you open Twinmotion in the import section, you can find all the files we support at the import. So you can import. I think it's FBX, Vectorworks. So yeah. So I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone. If you want to watch again this video, it will be on public on YouTube, so you will be able to watch the demo again. Hope you like this presentation, and again, if you want to hear more about Twinmotion, just join the Facebook page. Thanks everyone. See you for the next one.